Hello everybody, welcome to Victoria's Cantina. We are here today with the Hasbro Star Wars team consisting of Chris and Patrick from Hasbro Star Wars. Guys, how's it going?
Fantastic.
Going great, yeah.
Thrilled to be back at SDCC. It's the best place on earth.
Absolutely, it's a great place to be, and we're really excited to be here today talking about Star Wars. So thank you guys for having us today. The presentation yesterday was awesome.
Thank you.
Just the enthusiasm in the room for the Ghost and for all the announcements, TVC especially, was just like really, really enthusiastic. So
Good day.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so we got some questions for you.
Yep.
So the card backs are going back to 2010 style on the backside,
Yes.
and that's awesome.
Very
Does that
exciting.
include unpunched?
It's a good question. No, basically. So we certainly try to get unpunched in where we can. It's just not possible in mainline or even in some, brick and mortar exclusives. We do try to do it where possible when the cards are contained within an outer package. But even there, we don't make any guarantees. We're even seeing Bib Fortuna from the Boba Fett throne room set here is punched. So we do it where we can, but can't make any guarantees.
Okay, thank you. Next thing. The 4-packs, such as the Jabba's Goons 4-pack that were recently announced and coming out. Is that still something that you have your sights set on for more of those? That expression with new content, previous content?
Yeah, I think 4-packs are still a nice viable option for getting things out there and a bunch of card backs at once. It's a fun way to do it. There aren't anything specific, but when the opportunity presents itself, it's a great thing to have in our pockets as a way to play a little bit more. So.
And we did announce for Retro a 6-pack.
A 6-pack
pipeline
for Retro, yeah.
So definitely one of the quivers in the arsenal.
Awesome, thank you. Let's see here. So Bib Fortuna from the Throne set, that guy right over there.
Yep.
He looks phenomenal. For loose and carded collectors like myself, is there any chance that he gets repacked into the main line in some form so that I don't have to buy 2 of the play sets to get an extra carded figure?
It's a good question. I'm trying to remember. It all goes back to, honestly, we certainly want to stay consistent. I'm trying to remember what we said when we launched the Book of Boba Fett Throne Room. But usually when we include a carded figure within, that would be the only place to get the card back. It's interesting about including him loose. I'm trying to think if we've done that before. I know in things like Antok Merrick's X-Wing, that was kind of the only place to include him. If anything, it's more frequently the reverse, where we had Nomad Boba Fett, for example, in the reissue of Boba Fett Starship. Then he came carded to the line. We did the same thing with a loose Hondo Anaka in our 2020 Big Millennium Falcon re-release. He came to the line. No current plans, but again, we would just go back to what we said when we launched that, because we would want to stay faithful to what we promised the community.
Okay, thank you. Next up, the ATST that recently came out in Vintage. It looks better than it ever has. It stands better than it ever has, but they still fall down. Like mine's fallen down. I've had a couple of Tim from Bosk's Bounties had the issue as well. What options do you recommend if we're having that issue? Is there anything we can do to fix it or tighten the screws or anything?
No, I think a lot of it's just about the design of the thing. It's not the most stable design of a walker ever. On mine, we did tighten up the joints as much as we could to really kind of add a little bit, because they felt a little loose. So we did intentionally tighten them up some. And the way I play with mine, or pose mine, is I grab the feet and then move it around so the feet stay planted, instead of trying to, because there's so many joints on them.
Yeah.
Like trying to get them both at the same level. For me, it was easier to just plant the feet and then kind of move them around into a pose. So I think it all comes down to, that's not a design that would stand faithfully. So he's probably about as stable as he was in the movie. We saw Ewoks take him down. He can't be that stable. So.
Okay, awesome. Like we mentioned with Bib, so these Rebels figures look fantastic. They are so exciting. It's been a long time coming. Great to see them. They're going to be coming on cards should all the tiers be unlocked. Again, for people that like both loose and carded, what are the chances that they come back in some form just as they look here, but available in a second time around?
Yeah, it's a good question, and again, like the figures look amazing. Folks have been asking what my favorite feature is, and for me, it's getting those figures in with the Ghost. Like from the outset, we've heard the feedback from the community of the importance to figures in world building. The Ghost without its crew isn't the Ghost, so really important to get those out there. Those card backs are exclusive to the HasLab. These versions of the figures, the later season looks, seasons 3 and 4, are exclusive to the HasLabs. No current plans to re-release them in any other capacity. So if you like those figures, this is the place to get them.
Okay, so it might be just need to buy it twice.
If you want 2 versions, that's probably the way to go.
Awesome, thank you. So HasLab is your dream project, so that's what you guys have maintained, that it's to do things like this, things like the sail barge, things like the Razor Crest. I know that a lot of the community is still interested in smaller focused HasLabs like figure 4-packs or just things that would not be viable like Cantina Aliens, not going to mention any names, but that, the A New Hope core group, things like that. We love the big stuff, but what are the chances that you might continue to assess for those smaller options as well?
I think it's a good thing, and we continue to look at different ways to approach HasLabs. I mean, dream can mean a lot of things. But dream is kind of the core of what HasLab is. It's answering dream projects for people. If that's viable in a figure 4-pack and that's what rises to the top, it's not out of the question. But we're continuing to look at all the research data we've got, continuing to look to fan sites and people that are, like, everybody's talking online trying to figure things out. We love all the energy behind that, and we continue to pay attention to that. So if that's something that continues to bubble to the top, we're going to be looking that way.
All right.
I think also you talk about background aliens. We just released a 4-pack of Velkin Tazeri answering a petition, Tam Drengarin, Tessek, and Original 96er. So it's not HasLab or bust. There is a way through Pulse and Shop Disney exclusives to get some more of those background aliens out there, which we've done and will continue exploring doing.
Awesome. The Life Day Chewbacca over there, that was a surprise. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And you guys mentioned it's the first figure that Kenner Hasbro ever done from the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah.
The figure looks fantastic. I just wanted to throw it out there. If you did a brand new A New Hope Leia, you could recard her as Holiday Special too at some point.
True. It's a great point. Yeah, no, that was a great partnership with the parks, and that's really what made that one possible. It's all about the right channel strategy. The parks celebrates Life Day. That's a big beat for them, and so this is exclusive to Shop Disney and the parks, so it made sense for them. If there's others that make sense in the future, we'll certainly explore, and we've definitely heard the drumbeat to make the mains. We know that Leia, Luke, Obi-Wan, and Han are the big 4, so we always listen to the community and we try to pay attention to that feedback, and so just know that we've heard that and are taking that into account for the future.
Awesome, thank you. That Chewbacca looks to have a brand new head. Is there anything else new about it, or is it just the head?
I think the rest of the figure, well, he's got new hands because he's holding that orb.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that covers the newness on him. Other than the soft goods, the team did a great job making that red robe on him. So. But yeah, just trying to be true to the look of that Chewie there. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, he looks phenomenal. Really happy to see him. And Revan, those are 2.
Yeah.
So good.
And Thrawn. Yeah.
And Thrawn, yeah, absolutely. So no Princess Leia or Padme announced yet in 2023.
Other than in retro.
Yeah, other than in retro, yes, that is true. With this being the 40th of Return of the Jedi, I know we've been waiting years for Hutt Slayer Leia. And I know you were talking to my friend John from the Vintage Collection Facebook group yesterday, and you indicated that there's no bars on not making that figure, that you can make whatever you want, basically. I know you haven't announced VC300 yet, so we're just hoping. I know you can't announce anything either, but...
Yeah, and I would just say, we're not operating on an island here. Like, we have a great partnership with Lucasfilm and Disney. We've answered a lot of questions like this today. We work very cohesively with them, beyond just any specific figures, on building out the full line. They are the experts in the industry. They've built Star Wars, in my opinion, the best brand ever, along with Indiana Jones. They have insights into future entertainment, so they bring a lot to the table. We bring certainly toy experience, closeness with the fan community, so we bring it all together in planning out the line, and we work cohesively together. In terms of VC 300, I will say we know VC 100 was Star Killer, a great character, but I think the feedback from the community seemed to, just like a regular figure. We were very intentional with VC 200 with Palpatine, obviously a year after Rise of Skywalker. We're very aware of VC 300. You saw a gap there yesterday. It's going to be a great addition and very intentional for that important slot.
Got it. Okay. Still hoping for Hustler Leia at some point.
Understood.
Thank you. Speaking of the Emperor that you mentioned, we were really happy to see him back, but that sculpt does go back to 2005. Any chance we can get a brand new, completely from the ground up, like final definitive Emperor Palpatine?
I mean, at some point, we'll probably readdress him, but for right now, that's where we are. I mean, Star Wars is rich with characters, yes. So making the choice of what newness do we invest in? I mean, the old guy who kind of hobbles around is maybe not the guy who needs fully redressing, versus a newer character that's coming into new entertainment. So yeah, I think right now we're gonna focus on characters like Sabine and invest new tooling and stuff like that. But it's not off the table that we go back to him at some point in the future.
I think we're always trying to balance those new characters never before from new entertainment, also from classic, with the needed ones for reissue. We talked about make the mains, and I think it all comes back to the feedback from the community. Like, if that Palpatine is a bigger priority when we get to some of those make the mains than Luke, Leia, Han, Obi-Wan, let us know. If focusing all on those and less on new entertainment is the way to go, it's interesting. We have a lot of conversations, and we hear a lot about wanting more new entertainment, and Black Series is getting more. And so I think there are finite resources, and so I think it's important for us to hear from the community where they want us to focus those resources.
Right. From what I'm gathering, like talking to other collectors, talking to the community, most people do want those mains, like the OT mains, completed and thoroughly updated as definitive versions.
Would you put Palpatine before Luke, Leia, Han, Obi-Wan?
Not at this point, no.
So that's great feedback. That's good to know, and that's super helpful. But it's good to know kind of at whatever point we do get to those four mains, like what's next after that, because that'll help us plan for the future.
Yeah, that, and also I'm hearing like finishing core groups, like from Solo, for example. Still no Kira or Kessel outfit. Things like that. Like we have Lando, we have Han, but we don't have Kira. Like to finish the big three, just like rounding out, doing Baze, Malbus from Rogue One, just to kind of round out those last few that we need to finish those little core groups on our shelves.
Yeah. And we know there's a lot, right? There's a lot we could do. This is where we really do rely on, things that we read online, different votes, brackets, etc., to really kind of focus those choices and let us know which are the most important. Obviously, we pipelined Dooku yesterday. We talk about old guys. He's an old guy, but we know how important he is to the community from the social listening that we do, and so we prioritized him.
Okay, awesome. Chris, and this is a question for you. So I know your work with the lightsaber hilts and the designs goes back, decades, and you have a lot of really respectable work online that anybody can access, the books and all that stuff. When are these lightsabers going to have NeoPixel possibilities?
Well, that's just a brand name, but all that means is an RGB addressable blade, and that's what we've got in all of ours. So we're already there. Like we've got, I forget the exact count in there, but they're addressable LEDs, and that's all that's just a brand name for a type of addressable LED.
Got it. Is there a way?
Why you didn't want me to answer that question? No, just kidding.
Is there a way to tweak them so that we get like the flickering blade and that kind of a thing?
It's we're constantly looking at new features. We've added in stuff where the clash in the middle, those sort of things. So always trying to find new ways to bring that sort of stuff into them. So
okay, cool. The one other thing I hear is that sometimes they're kind of quiet, the lightsabers. Is there? Are you looking at maybe making them a little louder, having some volume adjuster in there so that they change a little bit?
Yeah, we do what we can. There are some regulations that we have to comply with on that, though. So that limits us a little bit just on testing and stuff. But yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. If you can make a hilt that hasn't come out yet, since you love the lightsabers, what would it be?
Oh, wow. I don't know. There are a lot. Thankfully, there are. I mean, just around in the Lucasfilm Pavilion, we see some brand new ones over there. So, I mean, we announced an Ahsoka one at our panel, which looks amazing. I'm really excited for that one. That's got the full white blade in it. That thing it looks amazing. So really excited for that one to come out. But there are a lot more lightsabers in Star Wars. So
Yes.
And a lot we haven't done in Force FX Elite,
Force
which we've
FX
done in
Elite.
Force FX before.
Yeah,
I mean, the Skywalker saber.
The Skywalker saber is a classic one, but there are so many varieties of those. And yeah, there's New Hope, there's Empire, there's
Force Awakens,
So-
yeah.
So
Definitely. Awesome. I have an indie question.
Dun, 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 dun.
Have we seen the entire lineup of Venture series? Or are there more waves that just have not been announced yet?
Yeah, as always, we can't kind of reveal things that aren't revealed. I will say some of it does depend on the reaction to the line. I know I've loved it. It's been such a passion project for Chris and I and the whole team. They've done amazing work. I think it looks great. I would personally love to see more if that's an option for the future.
All right, cool. And last question. Money is not an issue. You can make any HasLab you want. Chris, I'll start with you.
Oh wow, that's a tough one. If I knew it was going to be backed, wow. How big of a money's not an object? You said, right?
Not really.
I'm thinking 6-inch Millennium Falcon. If we're going out of the realm of
That
possibilities,
would be the size of this stanchion area here.
I mean, you said money's not an option, so
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's lots of other ones that are more realistic. That's out there, and I can safely say we are not planning a HasLab Millennium Falcon for Black Series. We are not. That is not in the realm of possibility. But I think big stuff like that is very dreamy. I think some stuff in Black Series would be a lot of fun. And I think it's never off the table, so we might go back there. Right now, the Ghost is my life for a while now has been Ghost focused, along with a lot of the team, and this is where my heart is right now.
It's
So
amazing. It really is. I'm so excited to own this thing. Patrick.
For me, obviously, your last question was on indie. Something in Adventure Series would be amazing, like a full indie Well of the Souls playset, harkening back to that Kenner design that Mark worked on. So, again, no plans for that. I don't see that coming out anytime soon, but that would be amazing.
The airplane from Raiders.
Oh, there you go, the single wing, yeah. So,
That'd be really cool.
yep, absolutely.
I would just simply go with a cantina with a certain pair of twin sisters. just saying.
That would be a
That'd
good
be
one.
my dream right there.
There we
All
go.
right. Well, thank you guys so much. It's been a blast as
Absolutely.
always. Congratulations again on all these amazing products. This looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, it's going really well.
Yep.
I'm sure it's going to fun, and hopefully we get all those tiers. And who knows, maybe you'll add another surprise tier in there with other Sabine or
Yeah, it's
Ahsoka.
currently tracking ahead of the Razor Crest. More backers on day one than the Razor Crest did. I think this is probably not likely, but it would be so amazing to fund this thing here at SDCC and have a big party here in the booth tomorrow. So
Yes, that'd be amazing.
Right, and if we get to 17,000 backers and we have all of the current tiers covered, that makes conversations about other stuff much easier. So let's get there.
Awesome. We'll love it. Thanks again, you guys, for being here with us
absolutely.
today.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you, guys.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.